Darwin Awards! Yes, the Darwin Awards, you heard me correctly. An accomplishment nobody wants, usually when F around meets find out face to face. And boy, have a lot of people been effing around and finding out recently, specifically in Minneapolis. In fact, there's been so many shenanigans going on in Minnesota, it seems to be soaking up almost all of the news stories. What are they trying to distract us from? I don't know. But it has made for some interesting TV. So I figured while the entire city of Minneapolis tries to burn itself down again, why not take a look back in the past couple of weeks to some interesting stories that maybe didn't hit the front page news, but sure did hit the internet's memosphere and subreddits or fail compilation videos. So join me as we break down some of those fantastic Darwin Awards moments from the good state of Minnesota, Mini-Somalia, Minneapolis. Okay, what do you say we start off with something just so obviously dumb, you really can't defend it. I'm sure people will, but I call this man Cheeto Dust Man. Can you believe it? A young chocolate warrior is out there in the streets when for no reason whatsoever, an ICE agent, boo, shoots him in the face with mace. Sorry. But why? Why was this going on? Well, different news articles and people on the internet were saying it's because he's black and ICE is racist, and they just see brown people, and whenever there's a brown person, they shoot first and ask questions later. Just ask the nice white lesbian woman that was just trying to drive over one of them, or away from one of them, or into one of them, whatever. And it's not that I ironically show you this first video where it's just this guy getting dusted in the face and we've got nothing beforehand, because that's what a lot of people got, right? You know, you see our handsome Nubian king just getting hit in the face with orange dust and people got upset. Well, because this is the world of the internet and everybody's got a video camera in their pocket, another angle came out, and wouldn't you know, it showed us like a couple of seconds, just a couple seconds, before he got shot in the face with that orange mace. Let's look at that, shall we? You see that right there? That's called a no-no. You see what's happened here as Wakanda Forever is decided to grab the ICE agent's firearm, which despite local memes saying that you pay for officers' firearms so you can take them, you know, technically they're yours, you paid for them. Not exactly the case. And the moment that the ICE agent realizes, oh my gosh, this guy's grabbing my firearm, Prince T'Challa gets a healthy dose of Cheeto dust right up the snoot. So what did we learn here today, kids? Did we learn that grabbing the firearms of federal officers is probably a bad idea? Yes. Yes, we did. I will say this though, dude walks it off like a G, right? You know, you messed up, you can't really say anything. And I kind of grabbed his weapon. I guess I overstepped my bounds. I guess I deserved that plume, powdered habanero spicy into my nostrils. And then just walks it off like a G. You gotta give it to him. If you're gonna be dumb, you better be strong, right? Did you guys know that somebody put music to this?
This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this.
Starting something off a little lighthearted. That's nice. Time to get into something heavy. Now, if you're a little squeamish, you might want to skip forward. But, as always, if you like seeing the raw, uncensored, sometimes a little gruesome version of these videos, go to Pepperbox, where you'll get to see all the injuries without any blurs, where you'll get to see a little bit more of the gruesomeness. Everybody welcome Caden Rumler to the show. Hey there, oh God, Caden, what are you, Caden? We take a little trip down to California. That's right, ICE protests are happening all over, not just in Minnesota, although Minnesota did kick it off. So although the incident happened in Minnesota, there are many other locations that the anti-ICE protests have been, well, going on after the Minnesota event with Renee Reamy Good got kicked off. So here we have Caden in Santa Ana, California, super upset with ICE and at a protest. Now once I break this down a little bit, I'm sure you're gonna see it a lot more or notice it. Because Caden in this video isn't the person originally being arrested. No, you see the officers are arresting somebody else. There's an agitator, an individual that they want to get a hold of and say, all right, you're the loud one, you're coming with us so we can settle down the rest of the crowd. And what happens is other people will then go to unarrest that individual. Antifa, large protest groups actually have pamphlets showing people that are in a protest how to unarrest somebody that is being detained and arrested by officers. Now there's different strategies like linking arms or doing a puppy pile where everybody just jumps on and tries to smother everybody and the officers just want to get out of there and that person can slip away. But nonetheless, every time that somebody's drug across a line in order to be arrested, there's usually individuals there that try to obstruct that arrest. That's where Kaden comes in. Kaden comes up with Zim Zair's air horn, looking like she's going to prevent the arrest from happening. And that's when the officer decides to deploy his less than lethal pepper ball gun. Just like a paintball gun, except it's got little pepper balls in it that have capsaicin in it. Now, pepper balls aren't just a great deterrent because they make you cough and make your eyes water and make your mouth and nose and lungs sting a little bit from the capsaicin that's in the air. It also sucks getting struck by one of those things if you're not wearing bulky clothing. You ever get a paintball gun and have your little brother run up and try to not get hit with it and you light him up and there's 30 welts across his body? Yeah. Deadly? No. Uncomfortable? Heck yeah. But unfortunately for Kaden, no body shots. Straight to the dome. Now you'll notice Kaden goes down right away holding her head. Well, that's because Kaden got shot in the eye with one of the pepper balls. And per Kaden, unfortunately that eye is no longer working.
Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life.
Now, it is unfortunate that Kaden got injured. That's not the place. We don't want anybody to get hurt or maimed or get shot, right? That's the point of less lethals, to provide distance and protection for us and the people we're arresting to disperse crowds in a safe manner that prevents loss of life. But unfortunately, that doesn't guarantee that you're gonna walk away without being injured. And unfortunately for the rest of us, it also means that Kaden is now gonna go on every news channel with her patchy beard, TRT, and busted eye, looking for sympathy points. Now, I'm not gonna leave you on something as depressing as a one-eyed trans kid with a patchy beard and TRT sounding as if they've talked through a kazoo.
They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it.
No, we won't end there. I'm gonna give you something that we can all make fun of. Furries! Now, I would just like to point out how absolutely hysterical this video is to me. I'll play it once, and then we can do a breakdown together. Sound good? All right, let's watch. Let me share with you why I find this absolutely hysterical and why you should too. One, dude is just dancing in the middle of the street, but he's not dancing for no reason, right? In a furry outfit, which is already interesting. The mouth moves. Like his mouth moves as he's singing. So you're like, oh, the animatronics, this is kind of weird, but cool. It's not just some weird guy in, well, it's definitely a weird guy. But it's not some stationary mascot mask. Like, this guy's mouth actually moves. And then if you look at it, his phone is standing up and he's recording himself. This is going on TikTok. You know what the world needs right now to heal? A guy in a fox mask dancing around and singing with his movable mouth at a protest with officers around. That's what the world needs right now. Furries are gonna bring this world together or make it fall. Probably the second one. Either way, I'm here for it. So let's paint that picture again. Guy dancing, mask, mouth moving, phone set up. A whimsical moment in life, except the background. It's like 5 officers, just Terminator walking towards him. Oh my God. I just feel like the music should be.
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky.
But then the background is just. So it's like the foreground does not match the background. Imagine a tap dancer as a nuclear bomb goes off. Or a guy doing magic to kids as there's like a firing squad shooting a guy in the background. It don't make sense. I think you can hear him go, ah, as he gets grabbed from behind. And then one of my favorite parts ever is there's this guy in this gray bubble jacket just vehemently screaming, "You fascists!" Like, listen, fascism, bad, right? You could probably attribute a lot of things as to being quote unquote fascist, right? They're arresting a furry for dancing. This guy's screaming like these officers just dropped Rosa Parks after she refused to go to the back of the bus. This guy's just like dancing and they're like, all right, we've had enough. And this guy's so high on his own piss, he's like, fascist. Veins go, oh. God. I mean, if fascism is arresting a furry dancing in the middle of the street, like, that's the softest version of fascism I've ever seen. It's almost like it's a pro-fascist video. Hey, we're fascists. We've gotten a bad rap. But here's what fascism could do for you. And it's just them arresting the furries and putting them in camps. Oh my God, I love this video so much. All right, I think we'll end it there. Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. Jump out, boys! Hey, are you a jump out boy, which is like every cop now having to jump out of their car and just stop riots and grab people trying to protest in a very violent manner? Get your buddy who's a jump out boy shirt. Also, new shirt, Party Crashers. If you got a friend on the riot squad, you get him a Party Crashers shirt. You show him you love him. Cheapest way to support the channel is leave a comment. Tell me what you feel about all of this. Was I a little too mean to the trans person? Should I have been nicer to the furry? Did T'Challa need to be smoked in the face with all that mace? Let me know. All right. See you next time, weirdos.